Hey, what's up, everybody? Video 44 coming at you with another video. All right, so talking about the Chicago Bulls and the LA Lakers here in LA, playing at the Crypto.com Arena, 7:30 p.m. Pacific, 10:30 Eastern. It's a late one for you Eastern folks. Well, Lakers are coming off a loss against the Clippers. Bron did not go. Kind of went the way we expected. Lost by like 13 points or something like that. It was a good effort. I think when you listen to the consensus, most people were kind of proud of the Lakers' effort overall. When you don't have Bron out there, it's kind of hard to beat a team like the Clippers. And that's kind of just the end of the story. I was a little more perturbed than most because I just looked at certain production that I thought we could have gotten more out of. Christian Wood only played 13 minutes, but was pretty damn efficient in the 2 shots that he took, got 7 boards, that kind of thing. So that was my issue. I wanted to see more Christian Wood out there. I called us the Los Angeles Princes. He ended up with 33 minutes. He wasn't horrible or anything, but I'm just tired of the overall process for which Darvin likes to, keep things revolving around Prince, and that's kind of how I see it. We end up having issues with our roster because he refuses to remove that particular piece. And that guy's rope is longer than everybody else's as it pertains to what he'll allow in terms of mistakes. And I like the shooting as much as anybody, but he has issues in other areas, and need we not look over those areas while pointing out other people's deficiencies, giving him a pass when he's, with all due respect, not one of our more important pieces when you look at our books. He's a $7 million expiring contract. Why is he being featured? I just think we're leaving a lot of opportunity to raise the value of players on our team like Rui Hachimura, and making guys like D'Lo and Austin look worse because of this piece who's not as important, having things being revolved around him in such a way to where you can't fill in pieces that otherwise make Austin look better, that make D'Lo look better, that make their rotations with those two involved specifically a little more defensive, because coach just wants to play this guy. And so that's really where I was coming from at the end of that game, but that wasn't limited to that particular game. That's just what it's been all season. And so, moving into this particular matchup, of course, Taurean will be out there, so you expect more of the same, but there will be no Cam Reddish. And Bron and AD both are on the injury report as game time decisions with some tendonitis in their ankle, and I don't know what AD has, some type of tendonitis elsewhere. But I expect they would give it a go. AD going up against his hometown team, I'm definitely sure he's going to be ready for this one. So that's kind of where my whole, energy, I guess, is where, it's the way I want to say this. That's where my energy is in regards to this team. I just don't love the mainstay of a limited player being in my rotation and having to live and die with that. I would rather us kind of get away from him, and then, as we saw against the Portland Trailblazers, how our team looks so much more defensive. You got so much more out of Vanderbilt. Your Austin D'Lo rotations look better when he just wasn't there, when he was missing with a knee injury. So that's my thing, man. I just want our coach to stop allowing his job to be dictated by the mistakes that are possible when you don't put forth band-aids, so to speak, in positions to where they're needed. You know what I mean? Because you want to have your guy out there. So that's really what it is. Because we have one-way players in most of the positions we have, we need band-aids like Vando next to D'Lo and Austin. You need guys that could help spread the floor, for which Taurean would be needed. It's not like he's not needed, but to have everything revolving around that particular player, I think has really made the rotations more difficult for our team, and I don't think many people are really talking about that. So I am. So that's where we start this video at. I just want to see the rotations improve, and unfortunately, we won't have Cam Reddish out there, who's another mainstay that Darvin likes to play. He hurt his knee again. We never let this guy actually fully heal. As I often say about different subjects, what does it look like when you're trying to support somebody? Do you overplay them and put them in positions to look their worst? Have them trying to guard people they have no business guarding, never letting them actually heal from these injuries because you want to give them their minutes? That's not what helping Cam and Taurean looks like to me. Putting them in positions to succeed, allowing them to heal from their injuries, not overusing them at all to the detriment of the team, is how it really looks when you're actually trying to support them, not giving them all the minutes in the world and letting them get cooked out there. So you just got to define what that actually looks like, and I just think Darvin has it backwards. But nevertheless, that's where we're at, man. I hate to start the video off complaining so much, but it ain't a whole lot to like. We're, I believe, 21-22, below 500, and our team is still running the same stuff that we've run at the beginning of the season that hasn't worked for us all year. We're still trying to figure out a starting lineup that can be consistent. It ain't, even with D'Lo playing at his highest, we're still having issues. And that's all we've been really missing is him being that third star as of late. But now it's like we're in a space where, although we've won 3 out of our last 5, we're still not really looking as good as we'd like to look, and we're getting ready to end our long January homestand having only won but so many games, man, when we should have been sweeping this homestand like crazy. But it's coming to an end very soon, man. We have this game here, and then we got the Golden State Warriors coming up after this, and we're going to be on the road for a while, man. And March is going, the rest of the season is going to be hard for us as far as our schedule is concerned. And having the trade deadline coming up, we could be missing players just off the strength of those trades being possible, having to reincorporate new players, assuming trades get made. It was time for us to get our act together these past 2 weeks, and instead, we've done the opposite. And so, the trajectory we're on right now to make the playoffs isn't looking as great as people may think it is. The urgency needed to fight toward the playoffs needs to kick in tonight, man. It needs to kick in right now, and we need to take the Chicago Bulls team very seriously. A Chicago Bulls team who's coming off a pretty good game where they lost at the buzzer to Kevin Durant on a very, very fantastic pump, mid-air, what do you call that? I don't know, a double pump, I guess is what you could say, mid-air jump shot, where Caruso contested it very well, but he still hit the shot to win the game. And I thought their team really played well, man. When you look at the box score, they had good games out of Vucevic, who went for like 7 assists and a double-double as well. Kobe White is playing at a high level. I could argue he's an all-star this year. Ayo Dosunmu's been helpful off the bench for the last couple games, including that one. DeMar DeRozan and various different players healthy, ready to go. So, this is a Chicago team that's not playing their worst ball, although they're on a road trip that probably they would expect to lose some games in. This is the game where they probably feel like it's a little softer for their schedule because of how poorly we've been playing in theory. So we want to put it on this team, man. The Chicago team, we know better than to just take them lightly. With Kobe White playing at a high level, I don't know if Zach LaVine will be available tonight or not. On one injury report, he's listed as out. On another injury report, he isn't listed at all. So that's really where we're at as far as he's concerned. Patrick Williams is a game time decision as well. But everybody on that Chicago team, for the most part, is pretty healthy. Obviously, they're, for those who pay close enough attention to their team, Torrey Craig has been out for a while. I don't expect he'll be back tonight. So it was just a lot of confusion about the various injury reports about the Chicago Bulls. I don't think we really know who's playing tonight. But that is the reality of it. If they have Zach LaVine out there, he's auditioning for us, so we got to be ready for him if he's going to play. DeMar DeRozan coming home to L.A. This is the only time he plays the Lakers this season. Obviously he's going to have a heightened interest in winning this basketball game for his club. Alex Caruso coming to L.A. The only time he's going to be playing the Lakers at home, or on the road rather. Clearly a lot of rumors about guys coming to L.A. possibly from this team. So we got to be ready for AC Drummond, who's been rebounding like a madman. He's had a sort of a renaissance season off of the bench for the Chicago team, so we know the rebounding is there. And that it could be where we end up having issues. We got to rebound the ball very well tonight. Vanderbilt was fantastic offensive rebounds. I think he had like 6 of them in the last game. So we're going to need a carryover effect from that. Braun, hopefully he gives it a go and helps AD on the glass as well, because this is a team that can rebound a lot, and we need to know that. With the personnel that they have, Vucevic, all their guys, they can board the ball. Kobe White, even as a guard, he rebounds. Caruso, we know this. So if I'm paying attention to any stat tonight, it's likely going to be what we're doing on the boards and how we can overcome this team who rebounds very well. Patrick Williams, if he goes, also a contributor there. So just be ready for that. Kobe White is a star, man. I'll double back to him. He's just a star. You got to respect his ability to really score from everywhere. He puts a lot of pressure on the rim. He's a three-point shooter. He's getting other people involved. He's playing some solid defense. He just doesn't really have too much going wrong for him right now. And if Zach LaVine's out, he's going to have the ball in his hands quite a bit, man. Him and DeMar DeRozan really cater to that a lot. So we need to be ready for that. Alex Caruso isn't expected to score as much, but against us, you never know. But he hasn't really been scoring as much. His focus is more so on the defensive end. Vucevic is playing well. Got to be ready for him. You know, he's in a good stretch for himself as we speak. So I would expect for him to try to get AD in foul trouble, being aggressive. And, of course, I expect AD to cook him because AD cooks everybody, and that's exactly what time it is, especially against his hometown team. So, you know, the Chicago team, they've been winning the games they're supposed to win and losing the games that you expect them to lose. They had a 19-point loss, I believe it was, against the Cavaliers about 4 games ago. You know, I don't think Zach LaVine played in that one, but you just expect to lose to the Cavs the way they've been balling lately. But, you know, they have done some good things against some lesser teams. You know, I believe it was, my mind's going blank on who they've played over the last several games. I know it was the Suns in the last one. And I know about that Cleveland game 4 games ago, but I forget who they had slapped in between that. But they won some games. That's the point. They've been winning games against lesser teams. And so you expect for them to be competitive tonight. And, you know, I think that this is a game where the Lakers could really turn their situation around. This is a fair team. If you look at the stats on these two teams as it pertains to where we're ranked in various categories, we're neck and neck. They're basically the East Coast version of us, you know what I mean? And no man's land hell, as I like to call it. Ain't quite good enough to win a championship, not bad enough to get the first overall pick. So this could be a competitive game based on that. They're a confident bunch. They just got their heart broken. They know they play pretty well. And I'd imagine they think that they could beat us. You know, I'd imagine that. But the way that D'Lo's been shooting lately, if Bron is able to give it a go and AD's playing well, we're going to beat them. That's really what it comes down to. We need D'Lo to stay on this heater he's on. He's been shooting the ball at a high clip. He's been super efficient. Really just jumping into his star power as of late. And we just don't want that to plateau at any point, especially since this is yet another home game where I think his confidence could be very high. So going up against guys like Kobe White, Alex Caruso, we know the defense is going to be there. AC is going to try to likely shut him down if he's put on him. So we need to be ready for that. And, you know, that's really where my head is as far as Chicago's concerned. I know this team is not great, but they don't necessarily suck either. And when they're healthy, they have a lot of star power. And with Kobe White being inserted into the mix, he's just another dynamic that makes them extremely dangerous. They are the type of team in the Eastern Conference where if they're all healthy, they could create some problems for a contender. They really could, just based on the star power and the ceiling of all of their players. So, you know, given that this is just a regular season game, we're a long way away from that. Neither of these teams are really in the playoffs or nothing. I think they're in the play-in tournament right now in the 9th spot. I think so are we. So, you know, this is exactly where you would expect these teams to be. But at the end of the day, Chicago has some ascending players getting better. Guys like Patrick Williams and Kobe White, Ayo Dosunmu, if they step up and play even better than they've been playing, continue on the trajectory of playing good ball, they could really make the Chicago team a competitor in the Eastern Conference. So I'm not confused by that, man. They got a lot of talent. So that's really what it is. I just not too confident in my Lakers right now. We have not been living up to the expectations that I have for us on the season. Been kind of dragging our feet on making moves and things of that nature. Obviously, the trade deadline is on the 8th. And I know the market will dictate what is possible, but we really need to just have some urgency overall about our team. If we want to be better than we are, we have to stop playing as if we have tomorrow every game. Because at the end of the day, the season is already halfway through. We're almost at the All-Star break, and this team is at 500. And this whole notion that we can turn it off and turn it on, or we can protest because we don't like certain things being done, you're going to look up and you ain't going to have enough wins at the end of the season doing this. And so that's what I want to say to my team. You know, I've been watching coaches get fired left and right. Wes Unseld was replaced this morning. They sent him to a different position in the Washington Wizards, but basically fired. We've seen, of course, Adrian Griffin get fired, and the Bucks proceed to do a pregame dance that they never done before the game afterwards, so they were happy. I think the Lakers would probably be just as happy to see Darvin Ham moved on from, because we're not seeing what we need from him, and people know it. And a lot has been said about it on this channel and every other channel for that matter. I extensively have talked about different things that he does that he won't, amend a little bit to make us better. And that Taurean Prince thing is just one of them. It's what you think about when you think about the Lakers right now. It's just how much of a struggle it is with the coaching. It's a struggle. Calling timeouts and stuff like that doesn't happen. We just watch things go bad throughout the course of a game consistently. And so the kind of consistency that we're used to is not good consistency. And that's the frustrating part. But maybe they can turn things around tonight. Maybe we can start the process of doing things better. I would like to think our team's been practicing more since we've had a consistent schedule in January at home. So hopefully that means that we're putting forth practice into our craft. But because when you go on the road, it's much more difficult to do that. But this team, man, I don't know, bro. I just want to see some changes. I really do. I'm frustrated, I'm irritated, and I'm losing my overall luster for this season, man. It's kind of like, all right, man, we're pretty much done. That's how I feel. Unless we make some moves, if we go out of the trade deadline having not done anything and not firing this coach, it ain't really much else to say. It's a 500 ball club. Hopefully make the play-in tournament. But that's kind of our ceiling in my mind, man. Play-in tournament. And that is absolutely unacceptable for a team with AD and Bron on it. So, those guys can only do so much. I think AD's been playing some of the best ball he's played since he's been here, so he's definitely not the problem. LeBron James is still having an all-star top 20 player season. I mean, he's definitely in the mix as a great player still. So it's not the stars that are a problem. It's other stuff. It's our strategy. It's our intensity. It's the continuity. It's certain players not having a good season, that kind of stuff. Being in rotations that don't benefit them because Taurean needs to be on the floor. That type of stuff. It's just why we're not very good. And so I think that's a coaching thing, and that's why I'm over all of it. Not just because it's popular to say Darvin needs to go, but because he really genuinely has been doing stuff that bring down our value as a team and bring down our overall expectations for winning game to game to game to game to game. So tonight is no different. It's another Laker game. I'm pretty sure we're going to play, whatever way the Lakers want to play. If they consider this to be a big game, they'll definitely show up. If they consider this to be a not so big game, they'll bring the lackluster effort that they bring to those type of games, and maybe we win, maybe we don't. That is the identity of this team. If it's a big game, we'll show up. If it ain't, we believe we can turn it on at any moment, and that, my friends, to me, is a loser's mentality. So that's what I want to see the change be above all else. It's just the mentality that we approach each game with. Are we proud to be Lakers? Are we proud that we're in the NBA still? Do guys take that for granted? You know what I mean? That type of stuff is what I'm gathering from this team. Guys just take all of this for granted. You know what I mean? Even the sunshine in LA, it's just all being taken for granted. And so I just want to see that change. I want to see my team step up. Have some urgency against the Chicago Bulls like they're the Boston Celtics, like they're the Timberwolves, like they're the OKC Thunder, or any other contender out here, man. Show up for this team, respect their talent level. They can attack you on both ends of the floor, and they have players playing well right now off of their bench. So respect that. Bring it to them. AC's on the other side of that. Drummond's on the other side of that. Ex-Lakers. Bring it to them. Guy from LA, DeMar DeRozan. And Zach LaVine has ties to Los Angeles as well. Bring it to these guys, of whom we have plenty of ties to our city, man. And so that's really where it comes down to for me. That's the beginning and the end of it. I want to feel good about this basketball team once again, but right now, it's almost irritating talking about them, unless we're talking about trade rumors. You know what I mean? You don't feel confident, and that's what I want to see change. And so it starts with coaching, and it ends with players, man. Or leadership. LeBron James, it starts there too. We need guys to get on the same page and care about what they do for a living again. Enjoy basketball once again. Enjoy playing ball again. This is just it's not fun right now. You know what I mean? Literally. Trade rumors and coaching issues, the irritating stuff. It's just not fun right now. And that's when I looked at the Bucks dancing around, it looked like they're ready to have fun again. And I just hope that my team can find that too, even if we don't fire the coach. Can we get back to enjoying the game that we love, man? Because right now, it's a drag. It's a damn drag. So that's really where I'm at with it. I think a lot of Laker fans feel the same way I do, man. We want to enjoy this game tonight. Hopefully our team can do something special. Hopefully we can have a great moment tonight, something that would make us feel excited about being Laker fans once again. So that's pretty much what I got to say, man. The Lakers are going to be wearing their yellow jerseys at home. The Bulls will be wearing their black striped uniforms tonight on our floor. And we need to make them feel uncomfortable here, you know? Make the Bulls feel uncomfortable in Los Angeles. They are not home. They need to know it. They need to feel that way. And so that's pretty much what I have to say. My name is BDF44. I thank you all for watching. I'm out.